Welcome. It's Sheila. It's Positive Changes, and it is Monday. Accountable Monday. Oh my gosh, did I not go live? Okay. Wow, that is quite a delay. Looks like we've got about a 30-second delay. Okay. Good morning, friends. I know nobody's popped on yet, so I was debating whether to even go live today and do a live stream, but I feel like I need to stay consistent. If not for myself, then, for you guys. Not that I feel like I'm contributing a whole lot, but anyway, there's been quite a bit of things happening with me lately and what's been happening in the world lately. And it's got me thinking some really deep, serious thoughts. So I'm just gonna do this like I would a regular video and not even think about chat. If somebody pops in, then go, so be it. Oh God, how do I want to approach this? I guess I should just get what's outside of me talked about first, and then I'll internalize it and share with you how I'm dealing with some things. As we all have seen in the news lately. Oh, hi Maria. Good morning. I wasn't sure anyone was going to show up. That's Maria's Nails 702 LV. I'm kind of in a bit of a quandary this morning, but I feel like it's important that we need to talk about some things. Even though I feel uncomfortable talking about it, I know it's important to talk about. And I was getting ready to say that, as we saw on the news lately, a really bad tragedy happened last week. And although I am not political in any way, I have my own leanings one way or the other, but that's irrelevant. I mean, I have friends on both sides, or all sides, really. And so it does not matter. But the deaths that's been happening, the political deaths that's been happening lately, and even just in general, we still have school shootings among our kids. I don't want to go into politics, like I said, but it's really had me worried about my place in this platform. Am I doing enough? Am I relevant enough? Because I saw the governor of Utah, whenever he did a speech, gave his news conference or whatever, there was a couple of things that he said that really stood out to me, and it got me thinking and questioning. Good morning, Maggie. How are you doing? It's going to be kind of a bit of a serious live stream today, so if you're not in for some serious talk, then you might want to just forego today's live stream, because I don't know exactly where I'm going to go with this. I've got a few notes written down, but you guys, you're my friends, you know me. I don't ever go by any real script, and I could say just about anything, and I hope I'd never try to, my intentions is not to offend anybody. I want to share a loving, positive, and encouraging platform here. Yeah, last week was rough. I will agree with you on that. not just what's happening in the world, but with me personally. But I wanted to talk about the worldly thing first, and then how I'm kind of internalizing that myself. Um, I don't believe anyone deserves to. I don't believe anyone deserves what certain individuals received last week. I'm not going to name names. I'm not. I'm trying to be very, very careful and deliberate with my words and be respectful also. But the governor of Utah mentioned in his press conference, or whatever it was, that these acts of violence that we've been seeing lately are not good to consume. And I will agree that is not good to consume. I remember when I was a kid, and I think still parents do this today, but I remember as a kid when something tragic or traumatizing happened on the news, um, or was reported on the news, parents would like cover their kids' eyes, and so that to kind of be a way of protecting our kids from seeing the violence that was being reported on the news. Now it's everywhere, and he also describes social media as a cancer on our society right now. I don't know if those are the I don't know if those are accurate way of describing social media. I mean, that was his quote, but I do agree that it can become a cancer, or a lot of it depends, like when you were talking about the content that social media shows, the violence and stuff. I kind of agree with that. But social media can also be a platform of love and encouragement and unity, community. I mean, that's what I try to share here on my channel and with all of you guys. It's the subject of the content that can make it cancerous. Now I will admit that social media can be an addiction. I'm guilty of that myself. I mean, I find myself so much on either YouTube watching videos or on my phone scanning either TikToks or Facebook or whatever. And it can become an addiction where I can't separate myself from my phone some days. But I'm in the process of trying to absorb all that positive energy rather than the negative. And unfortunately, there is a lot of negative out there that I'm not immune to. I see it myself, and it really affected me this past week, and I know it's affected so many others. So my heart goes out to you, my dear friends, that were having a hard, rough week last week. I'm right there with you because I did too. Um, he did say that he encourages people. This is the governor of Utah. This is the last thing that he mentioned that uh, that impacted me. He encouraged all of us to log off, go touch grass, hug a family member, do good in the community, and I cannot agree wholeheartedly more than with on him on that. And so that's kind of what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. Is I've kind of been a little bit MIA on YouTube for the last week or so, partially because of, well, what happened last week. That didn't help my situation. But I discovered certain things within myself that I may be going through. And I mean, you guys can see I am no young chick. I'm quite old. Well, not old, but I'm advanced in age compared to a lot of my new friends that I've made here on YouTube. And so with that comes certain changes in life that happens to us biologically. And as a woman getting that, getting of that age, I'm beginning to notice certain signs that lean in that direction. And so my mood and my motivation, my attitude, my mental health, it's not been the very best this last couple of weeks. I noticed that different things that happen irritate me a lot more than they ever used to. And so, and then what happened last week just kind of plummeted it completely. Good morning. Good morning, Shauna. You are a pillar of strength for me, Shania, when I'm talking about this subject that I was just now touching on. I don't know if you heard what I was just mentioning, but what you've been talking about in your content, in your changes in life, I've been noticing that within myself. And it's one of those subjects that I'm not very comfortable talking about myself, but I mean, it's a fact of life. I mean, here it goes. Got the waterworks going on, guys. But I thought, okay, it's never going to happen to me, or I'm just too young, but I've noticed a lot of different things, even little things, can be irritable to me. And I've noticed that my motivation has not been up to the level that I desire it to be, and that can drain my physical. I don't feel quite as energetic. So I thank you so much, Shania. I needed that encouragement because I was very reluctant to even bring up this subject today, because that's just not me. I mean, that is not what my channel really is about, but I feel like this has been something that's been affecting me over the last couple of weeks, and I feel like I needed to maybe explain myself, why I've been kind of MIA a little bit, why I'm not as cheerful and bubbly as I normally am, why I'm not really chatting so much on our group chats. It's just, yeah, a lot of things have been affecting me, but one thing I noticed, okay, 3.5 years ago, when I relaunched my channel, I was at the lowest part of my life. Why do I feel like I'm at the lowest part of my life today? I don't know. But it's like almost feeling those same kind of feelings I felt back then. I'm kind of revisiting those again today. And I come to the realization 3 years ago that what I needed for personally for myself was positivity. I needed encouragement. I needed a way of tapping into that positive thing within myself to make me better motivated, and to improve my mindset and just be a better person. I didn't want to be the person that I was becoming. I wanted to be better. And so I started saying, well, okay, I need positivity. I need encouragement. How do I get those things? Well, I remember I don't have scripture memorized to the point where I can tell you book and chapter and verse and all that. But I remember in Sunday school the verse that says, give and it shall be given unto you. If I need encouragement, if I need positivity, I need to give that. So that's why I chose that path for my channel. Start giving messages of encouragement and positivity because I personally needed it myself. And the more I was speaking it myself, it's like there's I don't know if there's a way of memorizing text. Whenever I was in school, you had to memorize certain things. My dad gave me the technique where you have to read it out loud. So as you're reading it out loud, your brain is processing it, you're verbalizing it with your mouth. So that is an audible outlet. And as you're reading it out loud, your ears are hearing what you are reading. And actually, you have to read it with your eyes. So your eyes are seeing it. So that's your visual input. You've got your audible output as you're reading it out loud, and then you've got your auditory. Your ears are hearing yourself repeat what you're reading, and so as I am sharing my positivity and encouragement with all of you making these videos, and I'm hearing myself saying it, it's gradually more and more getting absorbed within my thick skull. Good morning, Amanda. I'm sorry I haven't had a chance to look up. My eyes are still waterworks. I got the really tough part out of the way. So if you want to know why I'm crying and why I went through all of that, you may want to watch at the very beginning. Yeah, because yeah, that was oh goodness. What's going on here? What's all being said here? Yeah, yeah. So it's just a lot of stresses, Brad. A lot of stresses have been kind of happening within my life lately. Some of it is personal, some of it is public. But it's just whenever all these different things kind of combine, it got to be a little overwhelming for me over the weekend. But yeah, you might want to rewatch the very beginning of this live stream for a little bit more context. I don't think I want to go there anymore, but it's just, I feel like I need to do more positivity and encouragement. And although I love doing savings challenges, and I will continue doing the savings challenges, being in this funky mindset that I found myself for the last couple of weeks has made my house go to crap. And whenever I get overwhelmed, I like to put on my blinders. So I walk through my house with blinders on, not seeing the mess and chaos surrounding me because it's overwhelming to see it. I just ignore it, and then I procrastinate, and then things pile up. So exactly. I'm just now reading this, Shania. Melancholy comes, but it does not have to stay. That is absolutely true. And I find myself getting into that little ditch so often in my life. Sometimes it's hard to get out of it, but you do not have to stay in it. That is absolutely true. Oh, thank you so much, Amanda. God's still in control, especially through the dark days. Yay. Thank you so much, CJBROGDON2. Thank you so very much. That is 100% true. Thank you for sharing that. So, with all of that yucky stuff said, I've been kind of going through, I guess I will say, Shania, I guess you've given me enough encouragement to say the word. I believe I'm going through the early stages of menopause. There, I've said it. And so I thought having kids and going through the hormonal changes of being pregnant was bad. If I knew, who knew? I didn't know that I would be going through this in my 50s. So it's just you're right, Amanda. 10-minute timers, yes. Doing full small tasks, I spend, Yeah, exactly. Those are all little techniques and fun things that Fly Lady always encouraged, and that's why I like to follow her system. But then there are days when I'm just so down in the ditch and just not feeling it. I don't even bother doing it. And so yeah. But yesterday, however, somewhere I mustered within myself to tackle the dishes in the sink. Now, my daughter, she's had a couple of sick days this week, so she hasn't been doing the dishes like she's supposed to, like she said she was going to. And so the dishes have piled up. And because I've kind of been in a mental funk this past week, I've not been doing them. She's not been doing them. My husband's been doing a little bit, just enough to get us by. But I mean, he can only do so much. I mean, he works full time. I don't expect him to be a miracle worker. I needed to get off my derriere and get something done yesterday, and so I recorded myself doing it. I don't know if I'm going to share that footage. Maybe I will, but I knew I needed to do something. Something is better than nothing at all. Oh, you drive safe, Maggie. I'm just sorry. I'm just now reading some of these comments. Keep talking and give yourself. Thank you so much, Shania. Yes, that's what I needed. I needed to do that. Give myself grace. Yeah, it's just a hard week for us as a community within our own personal lives. I don't know how the events of last week affected each of us, but I know they affected us in some way, and not necessarily in a good, positive way. And I feel like that's why I needed to put my positive changes voice out there again. But I've been questioning whether I'm doing enough of this kind of thing. Just chatting positivity, encouragement. Um, money and all that is really good. And the saving challenges are all fun and dandy. But that's not why I started this channel in the first place. And I've been questioning myself of what direction should I go and how should I do it and what's my energy and level and motivation to do what I want to do. Do I even know what I want to do? Man, I may take you up on that offer, my friend. Or maybe we could do a video chat. You know, I could butt dial the group again. Oh my gosh, thank you, Amanda. You are darling. It's not a threat. It is not a threat. Oh man. Okay. Now on that good note, we've done with the negative part. Let's get into what Accountable Monday is supposed to be about in the first place. All right. So my content might not be quite as full. I mean, I know I've been doing like what 2 or 3 videos a week, and this past summer I kind of tapered that down a teeny bit. I may taper it down a little bit more because next month, a month from, or I think it's a month from today, mid-October, and I don't have the exact date in front of me, is when I will be starting up Cruising Through the Holidays. You guys who love Fly Lady, I love Fly Lady too, and I want to get my house ready for the holidays. So I will be doing Cruising Through the Holidays again, but I'm going to go do it the way I did it 2 years ago. I felt like that content was so much better than I did it last year, even though Chrissy will argue with me and says, oh, she loved last year's videos. I wasn't 100% satisfied with them myself. So I'm going to go back to do it the way I did it the first time 2 years ago. And that's almost like a daily thing. So that's going to be a lot of work. So this month, this next few weeks, I might not be quite so active, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try. Yeah, thank you. Yes, we are in this together, Shania. Yes. That's why I love this community. You guys give me so much of encouragement. And if I don't keep my voice of positivity and encouragement out there as well, I'm letting all of you guys down. I'm not giving you guys the kind of support I should be giving you, because you give encouragement. I need to be an added voice to the choir, because I started out in school in the choir in high school, in middle school, and in high school. So I believe in teamwork. I believe in adding our voice out there, which broadens the volume of the music and the message. With more voices saying the same thing, and we need to be working together. And with all the negativity out there, we need more positivity to counteract all of that. Alrighty. I'm just going to just show you. I will do this off camera. I don't feel like going through all of my dollar bills and stuff, but I did not. You know how I've been doing my weekly goals things like this. Remember these sheets I filled out for you guys? I didn't even bother filling these sheets out for these last couple of weeks. That's where my brain went. My brain went, I don't know exactly where it went. It just wanted to be distracted. And so I didn't even do these sheets. So this morning I went through my little, oh my gosh, Finch app to see what habits that I actually completed and how much money I have earned for these last 2 weeks. So I wrote those down, and this is what I did. Oh, you guys probably are backwards. All right. Sorry about that. But I think altogether it says I've earned $7.50. It's not been my very best week at all. In fact, it's one of my worst couple of weeks, because I only did 14 and then 16 tasks one week. So not my best, but there's always room for improvement. Like Shania, who is Evolved with Grace, said, we need to give ourselves grace. And this was just not a good couple of weeks for me. I mean, I discovered certain things about myself, and then watching the news didn't help my mood at all. And so too many pressures just kind of took my focus off of what I was doing here. But you know what? It's a new day. It's a new week. And can you believe, I'm looking at the calendar. The reason why I'm looking up is my calendar's right above my desk. We are already halfway through September. Where did this month go, my friends? Oh goodness. Yeah, where did this go? In fact, next week is the beginning of fall. That is my favorite season. I'm getting my pens because I need to write down who all's here, because you guys, I need to go back. Okay. Maria. I'm writing everyone's names down because you know me, when at the end of the live stream, I like to put everybody's names and the links to their channels down to just show that we need to support one another and encourage whoever pops into this video or this live stream and watches it later. Go watch these guys too, because they are fabulous people. They are encouraging. They're my friends. There's Maria's Nails, Mix Match Maggie, Evolve with Grace, that's Shania. And if you want to listen to somebody with a wonderful voice, Shania's that. You've got such a soothing voice with a great message. Brad Shenanigans. I don't know who you are, sir, but I appreciate you stopping by and giving a few words of encouragement yourself. We need a whole lot more of this in this world. And then my bestie, budgeting like a girl. That's Amanda. She is adorable. She will tell you as it is. I mean, she's a very no nonsense girl. And I don't know who you are. CJBROGDON2. Thank you for your words of encouragement. Who else showed up today? Oh, chat just went whoop. Okay. Yeah. Chrissy can do last year's way herself if she wants to. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever works for you. Whatever. Exactly. That's the one thing I like about Fly Lady's system. You know, you work within your abilities. You make what her plan is. You make it work for you. And we're not to criticize one another. We're supposed to like give or criticize ourselves. I mean, we need to encourage ourselves, give ourselves grace, like Evil with Grace said. Oh, oh, yeah, my brain. Yeah, my brain. Yeah, I think ever since our trip to St. Louis, I don't think my brain's ever stopped being on vacation. So trying to get back into mode. Yeah. Yeah. I love you guys. You all are wonderful, wonderful friends, and I appreciate all of the encouragement. Like I said at the beginning of this live stream, I wasn't sure whether I was going to even do this today, just because the way I was feeling, um, and the subject was rather, it was iffy for me. I don't feel 100% comfortable talking about these kind of subjects, but I know that not talking about it can be just as bad, and getting some things out in the open can be cleansing for some. And I've noticed that with myself, that if I have something that's been like gnawing at me, once I get it out and I talk it out to somebody, I feel better about it. I can maybe have a fresh perspective of how I'm looking at it. And and you guys showing me as much of encouragement as I try to give to you, that means so much to me. So I'm thinking about my live streams, instead of doing them every other week like I've been doing. I think I'm just going to do them at a month at a time. So this will be the last bi-weekly live stream. Well, because see, the next bi-weekly would have been on the 29th, and of course that's like the third Monday, and I don't do a third Monday of the month, but I will do them on the first of every month now, the first Monday of the month. So we will be back October 6th will be our next live stream, and then I will do kind of like a full month accountable Monday kind of thing. A full month of how my month has gone, because starting in October, I'm going to be doing the cruising through the holidays, and that's going to be a daily thing. They're going to be kind of short videos, I guess. I'm going to try to keep them within 5 to 10 minutes. But they're going to be a daily thing because the tasks are daily. Hello, Sharon. You kind of come in at almost at the tail end. But thank you for stopping by. Just got home to Arkansas from a 3-week visit to Seattle. Oh, I've never been to Washington. I'd love to go there. So I understand my brain is still on a 20-day absence. Yep. Well, my vacation with St. Louis was back in July, and here we are in September, and my brain, I don't know if it's ever caught up yet, but I don't think it wants to. But, since we are entering my favorite season of the year, I love autumn. I love the holidays that are in autumn and the cruising through the holidays, getting ready for the Christmas season. Um, I love all of that. So I think my brain's going to definitely be in working order because that's going to be my main focus. I probably will still do I'll definitely do the Christmas video. In fact, um, I didn't realize, Amanda, that you're doing two this month. So when I saw your video last week, I thought, oh no, I haven't done my video for next week. No, mine's not until the end of the month. I didn't realize you were doing two of those this month. So I got a little bit of time to breathe and do my Christmas. I will do the Christmas savings video and then the Build a Bank videos I've been doing on Fridays. This last week, though, was on a tight budget, which also kind of plummeted my mood. When you don't have a whole lot of money, I feel bad because I can't do the things that I want to do because I don't have the money to do the things I want to do. But you know what? It's okay. I need to focus on taking care of what I needed to take care of, and then the savings will come later. So we're not giving up. We're just maybe postponing a little bit. I did kind of panic a little bit. And then when I looked at I actually had to go back to our email and look at the calendar that Danny sent out. And I'm like, did I miss something? No, you were on there twice this month. I'm like, oh, I didn't notice. I didn't notice that before. So yeah, because I'm like, you did your video, and then when I did the budget, I'm like, I can't do this. How am I going to do this? I don't have the money in the budget. No, it's because it was an extra video. So definitely go, if you don't know, go check out Amanda over at Budging Like a Girl. She is funny, especially her inappropriate Christmas videos. I find them funny. They're hilarious. Um, do you no, not only there's a section where you have to change it's not for kids, but then under that there is one that says about 18 and below or something. It actually there's a little, I don't exactly know where it is off the top of my head, but there's a way of changing that so that the parameters let me go look at why are you like that? Yeah, it says there's the not for kids, but then there's the age restriction. Yeah, we need to make sure that we're clicking on that age restriction tab. Okay, so you do include the age restriction. Okay, that is weird. That is weird, but YouTube is weird. I so far I don't think any of mine have been flagged. I've not received any notifications that I'm aware of. Usually they flag mine as soon as it goes up if there's any problems. That is weird. Maybe. Well, I don't know. Oh, you, well, you still do you use the inappropriate, the little graphic that Danny sent us? Do you use that at the beginning of your video, in the video itself? Or is it just your thumbnail? And then you post it? Okay. See, I include mine in the intro of my video. Maybe that's what we need to do. just to get the YouTube gods off our backs. Yeah, I saw you where you flashed it up there, but maybe it's not on there long enough, or I don't know what YouTube requires. I don't know. But I just made I made my intro, and I just used the same thing over and over again. That's why I'm thinking, well, is my videos even good enough? Because they're getting a bit repetitive, and I know I personally can get bored with my content, but then I can watch somebody else who does cleaning, or they plan out their week and they decorate their calendars or their savings challenges or whatever. I can watch that content one right after the other and never get bored. But for some reason, I feel like my stuff is boring. I don't know. You have a great day, Maggie. Same for you, Maggie. Yes, we want to pray for one another, and you know, lift one another up in peace and love. Um, yeah. So, well, it's close to our 45-minute mark. Yeah. Yeah. I just need to figure out a way of making it seem interesting to myself, I guess. I don't know. Well, my friends, we are almost at the 45 mark. Chrissy, I pray for Chrissy. I know she had some family issues this past couple of weeks, and I lift her up in prayer and love. I hope everything's okay with her and her family. What can I say? I can't say anything to you, Amanda. You just, what can I say? Well, I feel the same way, Shania. I don't think my voice is all that worthy to listen to. But then I think that's true with all of us. We hate the sound of our own voices. We'd rather listen to somebody else's voice. All right, my friends. Okay. We're starting to get into the silly. We're starting to get into the silliness. Okay. We need to wrap things up. I know everyone has a full day. It's Monday. It's a brand new week. We've got lots of things we want to accomplish. I need to write down all of the things I need to do this week. I need to start giving my daughter her eardrops because she has to get her ears cleaned next week. My son's got something happening this week. I need to find out from him more details about it and all that. Yes, sending you all hugs. Guys, thank you. I love all of you. Can I do that? There we go. There, I can do that. Sending you all my love. Okay. Happy to Okay. I can't wait for your poop show. I know I don't have to be so PG. I'm just being a silly. So, guys, thank you so very much. And I don't want to apologize, but I hope you guys who are watching this later on understand there's some things in life that can affect each of us differently. And in fact, for me, it just affected me quite intensely, and I kind of got a bit intense today, but it is what it is. I am who I am. I'm probably not going to change who I am. I'm just trying to make the best of who I am and improve and better myself. And that's all I can encourage all of us to do. We all have the power to encourage and motivate ourselves as we're encouraging and motivating one another. So, you guys have a fabulous day. a fabulous week. I send all of you with all the love and warmth, and we'll see you guys next time. I love you all. Bye, friends.